Hi, everyone. I wanted to go over some key information before we start delivering the PCS speeches this week. So let's get started, and I've got some information that I think might be very valuable to you. So as you know, we are going to use the Zoom method this time, which is different than some of the informative speeches where you simply recorded from your phone. So I want to give you a little bit of information about how to Zoom from your computer. And hopefully you all have access to that because, again, setting it up, make sure that you use the Wartburg link so that you have the Wartburg Zoom download. And I'm going to put this PowerPoint up on my Wartburg as well so that you can go back through and review some of these key points. Make sure that you have a YouTube account through Gmail. I've had a few people say, well, YouTube is for my personal stuff and I really don't want to put school stuff on there. You need to put it on there at least temporarily, and then as soon as it's graded, you can go right back in and delete it. But I have to have it on YouTube, okay? Make sure that you go through the steps that you need to do. So you're going to host a meeting and make sure that you have the video on. That's very important, obviously. You may have to open where it says Open Zoom Launcher. Again, computers are going to vary. And then also make sure that you have the audio set. So you have to join with audio. Again, can't grade a speech if I can't hear it, right? So some different things to remember when you are presenting your speech. Find a quiet place. I have some very noisy triplets that live with me, so I came out on the sun porch, closed the doors, locked them, and hopefully, we won't have any disturbances. So you'll need to do the same. Make sure that you adjust the computer screen so that you can see yourself in it. As you notice, if I'm here or here, or if I go over here or here, that's not going to happen. So make sure that you're full face in there. Some of the speeches that I graded via phone had some very distracting visuals in the background. So kind of look at the background. I've just got cedar from the sun porch, so not terribly distracting, right? So check your background on your screen. You probably won't need an auxiliary microphone. Most of the computers that we have today are doing a fairly good job of that, so I think you should be all right. And go ahead and have full screen up, so that will help as well. And you can record on the computer or you can record to the cloud. It'll give you those options. So pick the one that you want. I'm simply recording to my computer right now. A couple things to remember when you are presenting your speech. So this is something that I've discovered. If you share the screen when you're showing visual aids, I want to show you what happens, okay? So if I hit stop share, and then I want to go back to my visual aids, well, what do I have to do? I have to go back into the PowerPoint. I have to share it again. I have to go down to the slide that I want, wherever that happened to be, right? And then I have to click it again. So that is probably going to be an issue for you. The only thing that we could do to get around that would be if you had multiple screens and you can share different screens, but that's not going to happen. So basically, you're going to have your slideshow up and you're just going to be the beautiful little person in the corner there, which is okay for our purposes. But when you get done with your visual aids, then make sure that you do the stop share, okay? So that you will be full screen, at least for your conclusion. Then when you're done, obviously hit stop recording. It'll ask you if you want to save it as an MP4, so do that. Send it to YouTube, and then mark it as public. Otherwise, I won't be able to see it if you mark it as private. And then again, you can delete it after your speech is graded. Just a couple delivery reminders as we get into this week's speeches. Obviously, can't see if you're wearing jeans, don't really care, but professional attire, at least from whatever we can see, if that makes sense. You still have to have eye contact. I've had some of for example, the phone speeches where people were looking over here and their note cards are over here, or they're looking down like that. That doesn't work. So you have to make sure that you are at least pretending that you are looking at an audience. Volume, please speak up. Some of the phone speeches, again, I could not hear a word that the person is saying. I had my computer cranked to the hilt, but it's really hard to grade you if I can't hear you. All the old rules still apply, right? You need to have enthusiasm for your topic. Yeah, I get it. You're talking into a computer screen. You're the only one in the room, but you have to fake it, all right? It's just the way you have to be. Even though, you're doing this recording, practice it first before you go through the Zoom recording. You definitely want to do that, particularly with time and citations and enthusiasm, that will be something that you will definitely want to do. Specifics to the PCS speech. Remember, 6 oral citations. I understand some of the documents said 8, but you only need 6. Ideally, author, date, title, publication. Be listening for that. You still need an attention-getting introduction. You need a powerful conclusion. Remember, to get full points in the introduction, somewhere in there you have to say that you did research on the topic. That's vital for the points. Make sure that you have transitions because these are clear. Not so clear in the informative speech, but really clear now. So now that we've looked at the problem, let's look at the causes. Now that we know the causes, let's discuss a solution. So those have to be extremely clear. Even though we are not on campus, we're not in our classroom, you have to remember that you are still talking to this demographic and that you have to have these audience connections. Half of you, the size of the Wartburg campus, all of those. I'll be listening for those as well during your speech. Visual aids for you, again, you're only going to have charts, graphs, tables, photos, that kind of thing. Maybe 3-ish would be fine. And like I said, you're going to have them full screen while you are talking about them, but then you're going to stop share and give your conclusion. So that also means, right, because we can only have up what we are talking about. So that means that you're going to have blank slides in between. So if you have any questions about that, make sure that you let me know. And again, I've had some of you say, well, I really rehearsed my speech. I memorized my speech. That's not what this is about. It's extemporaneous delivery, and you simply talk to us via your note cards, okay? So just a few little tips as we head into the PCS speeches this week, and they do begin on Wednesday. So I need Laura, Brandon, Kayla, Patrick, Leah Doherty, and Malachi to turn in your speeches by Wednesday, April 1st, and then I will be sending those links to other students to critique. So if you have any questions, make sure that you let me know. Thank you.